Excuse our delusion, but this is what an identity crisis looks like. An African, influenced by American pop culture and European etiquette, driving a used Japanese car on a road paved by Chinese contractors, talking on a Korean cell phone, configured by Israeli technicians, and all the clothes on your back say made in Taiwan. This is made in Africa. You wouldn't recognize Made in Africa if she flashed before your eyes, dressed in blood diamonds with the sun's rays for heartbeats. For the longest time, you've lied to yourself more than ever before, because all you've done is export raw resource and import a personality that will never be yours.
What do we have that we can call our own? What do we have that we own? From the gems the world pawns to the coffee seeds that we've sown, stunting our development because we can't lay claim to the very fruits that we've grown. We can't say we never saw this coming. Our patterns are cloned. A pretty obvious thing to do would be to learn from the mess-ups that others have shown.
Today we take a stand.
Today we take a stand.
We refuse to be stepped on and brushed off. Refuse to be slept on and crushed. We are our voices. Our greatest weapon is us. We refuse to be kept on the hush. Watch us go from African nobodies to international somebodies. Cantembas and small businesses boom into Fortune 500 companies.
This land is home to the storytellers. So anybody can read between the lines and see how short we sell us. Or rather, how we don't sell us at all. Because the last time we did, black bodies were traded for spices and guns.
There's two outspoken African boys on a stage. All you can see. There is a mass grave at the bottom of the Atlantic. The bones of our ancestors asking us, Africa, is this all you can be?
Say hello to the generation that's pulling the sheets off the old mindset for an awakening. Dragging the truth out into the middle of Cairo's Tahrir Square and exposing it for the shameless, outdated lie it is. Commodities have been cornered, the truth is trampled on, systems are set up and mouths are muted. But we're grabbing guns from child soldiers and replacing them with books. Taking little girls out of coffee plantations and putting them behind desks. Stripping political players of titles that have nothing to do with their field of study. Maybe then, correctional facilities can actually correct and hospitals will no longer be graveyard waiting rooms.
I've got this sixth sense, yo.
I got this sixth sense.
I've got this sixth sense. I see dead freedom fighters, the wailing ghosts of Patrice and Kwame, dead men weeping for dead spirits, and I can't help but hear Steve Biko cry about how he longs to see us live as
Malcolm extraterrestrials in a Martian Luther kingdom. We all know that when we see Canada, that's what our country should look like. Switzerland is like that little brother that went to a posh school. I thought we were done discussing the oppressor. I thought by now we would have had something to leave our successors. We can't lose any more of this ground we stand on. We can't lose any more of the hope we have.
Dear endangered species.
Dear endangered species.
Your own ignorance endangers you. Dear endangered species. Your own ignorance endangers you. But this right here, this is forbidden knowledge. The type that eternally changes you. You are a treasure vault. Your mind is what they pick your locks with. Keep you dependent. Keep you reliant. And when you're not looking, pick your pocket. Keep you dependent. Keep you reliant. Mentally clutch and enslave you. It's a contradiction because if you are really independent, you will be defiant of the economic crutches they gave you.
We all know thousands of doctors graduate every year, but still we need to be flown out for treatment. Thousands of engineers wear the cap and gown, but still the biggest contracts are with the Chinese contractors. Actually, the only contracts, because no one here contacts us.
Accountants, though.
The top firms they work for are all subsidiaries of European firms. That means the money won't stay here, so our minds won't stay clear. Not until we begin to see our children walk with the confidence of a people who celebrate Independence Day, knowing they depend more on the inside than on the outside.
We want you infuriated at how kids working, slaving fingers to bone on Ivory Coast cocoa plantations may never know or understand what chocolate is or where it's from, never comprehend the joy of having a Cadbury candy bar melt on your tongue. And hard luck to the toiling Ethiopian coffee bean farmer that will never order a cappuccino at Starbucks. Every Beninian cotton picker that will never rock designer clothes on their backs. Every African miner that will never rock precious stones on their necks. Osatima Gongaiwe. Bakers get no love because tonight God is fist bumping African originals. Going out of my way to be what I'm not is not African, it's criminal. Looking down on Africa is pitiful, so we spits the Mount Africa on pinnacles.
For every good reason to slip a diamond gold ring on your finger, there are probably 10 reasons as to why you shouldn't. I'm not saying anyone is evil for doing it. I'm not saying I wouldn't. All I'm saying is that in between the 6-year-old Congolese rebel dying and the fat wealthy commander supplying, we probably have our priorities placed where they shouldn't. So on behalf of the silenced and the muted Africans whose blood these jewels are soaked in, I simply pray that these poems can march, stomp, and completely stop a fate that they couldn't. Yes, this is made in Africa. So every time you hear these poems, remember, let them recognize the Moroccan in what you're rocking.
The Congo in the way you smack your bongos, because that's how this song goes.
The Mozambique in the way you
The
speak.
Egypt in the way you mummify your best kept secrets.
Recognize how Libyans and Liberians,
Descended from liberated
the
librarians.
Zambians in your ambiance,
Ooh, the Tanzanian in your tan.
Ooh, your Madagascan
The
madness.
Swazi in your sway.
Recognize the maleficent manner in which your melanin spills amongst millions of
Malawians, Somalians, and Malians. Yes,
this is made in Africa. Yes. Picture Mama Africa like this. I picture her eating jollof rice, rocking some emerald-studded copper bangles, while she lets her coconut oil-dipped hair soak in the sun while she sways to Fela Kuti's Lady, performed by Hugh Masekela in the heart of Africa. A wave is about to sweep the continent. It will begin from the world's largest oil refinery to the biggest chain stores ever known.
Yeah.
Get your tongues used to pronouncing our
Lingo.
lingo, because we're making addictive beverages out of the finest seeds we've ever sown, with the local airlines being the best we've ever flown, and the silver screens showcasing the best we've ever shown. Yes, it's coming together nicely, isn't
coming
it?
together nicely, isn't it?
Yeah.
The West never saw this
Nah,
coming.
they never did.
It made your head spin, didn't it? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the rotating gears cause revolution. Not only are we processing our own raw materials, we are also in charge of packaging, marketing, and distribution. Africa, I want you so violent in your pursuit of knowledge and God that they won't hide them in books anymore. Deep, dark, sky, black, melanin will camouflage brilliance, so they won't judge us by our looks anymore.
Yes, this is made in Africa. Yes, new meaning to when we call Africa home. The rumble in the jungle, we will make sure it's felt. Knowing full well that your colonialist behind loves to hit below the belt. Coin these very words from our tongues where our own chocolate will melt. We are owner, not intern. Coming well dressed with the confidence of straight A students during a midterm. Our past may be a broken cistern, but these man-made lakes are angled towards the future that we must earn. The economic giants have advanced towards us, and we gently feel the back of a smooth stone like there's a hidden braille we must learn. Yes, this is made in Africa, and we won't stop until our souls,
Our smiles,
our clothes,
our styles,
our roads,
for miles,
our culture,
our buildings,
our technology,
our children,
our imagery,
our personality,
our wealth,
our money,
our milk
our honey
are
are made in Africa.